So Arlene Richards in New York, you've been on the ground covering Trump's trial. How are voters in the US responding to the convictions?
Well, I think Trump's voters are really getting behind him full force because their campaign announced that right after the conviction, within 24 hours, they received over $50 million in donations. And so I think that speaks volumes for his supporters and for people who have been behind him throughout this whole thing. Now, they talk about other people who have said that if he gets convicted, they won't support him or they won't vote for him. But I'm not sure that that is true because the Trump team has said they have been conducting their own polls. And from what they have found out, people who are kind of on the fence are not happy with him being convicted because it speaks volumes for where our justice system is going. So I think that we will see in November, as he said, we will see what the voters think about this.
What does this all mean for the US presidential election?
Well, he's going to continue running for president, even though he's a convicted felon. He is allowed to continue to run for president, and even if he wins the presidency, I believe he can take on that role. I'm not sure what would happen if he goes to prison. That's yet to be found out how that would work out. But his Secret Service has announced that they will continue to serve him. They will continue to protect him in that role that they have. People have questioned whether or not there would be a Secret Service agent sitting in the jail cell with him, assuming he goes to jail. We don't know how that would work out. But I really feel like he wouldn't go to prison. Everybody's saying that he probably shouldn't go to prison because this is a first time conviction for him. He's 77 years old. This is a very low level felony. It's just about documents. It's not a violent crime. And, most people in this position who are convicted for business records are put on probation. So we're expecting him to be put on probation. But as he keeps saying, this is election interference. So if this is election interference and they want to stop him from running for president, then maybe they'll put him on house arrest. Although I don't think any of this has stopped him so far. He has continued to campaign throughout the whole trial.
And what's the reaction been from Biden?
Well, President Biden, of course, has said that he has faith in the justice system and that he thinks that the jury did the right thing. He has commented on Trump's reaction because he has said that this has been rigged, that the whole thing is a rigged trial. And so Biden has said that this is dangerous and reckless for him to respond that way. But other people have thought that Biden would be more like doing the victory lap, like President Biden and a lot of the Democrats were expected to be, cheering and talking a lot about Trump being a convicted felon. But so far, they've been kind of quiet on that front. And we have to see what happens when the debate comes. I think that President Biden will, at the time of the debate, use this convicted felon title to try and win over more voters.
And Trump has 3 more trials to go, but not before the November US election. Tell me about those. What can we expect?
Well, we don't expect any of them to come to trial before the election. We have the Georgia case, and that has been put on hold kind of indefinitely as they appeal this decision about the district attorney, Fani Willis, and that whole scandal with her having a relationship with her prosecutor. So that's going to push things back. The DC case, they also are waiting to hear from the Supreme Court about presidential immunity. So that's been put on hold indefinitely, and we don't know what will happen when that ruling comes out. Could come out in July, I think at the latest. And then you have the Florida case that's also been pushed back kind of indefinitely because there are a lot of problems going on in that case. The judge has been ruling a lot in former President Trump's favor in that case, and she's been having a lot of disagreements with the prosecutor, Jack Smith. So there's not a trial date in that case as well. So we're not expecting any of those 3 cases to come to trial before the election. And what happens after the election, if he becomes president, he could potentially pardon himself from those cases. But I think actually, if those trials haven't happened yet, then they would be put on hold if he becomes president, and they would be on hold for his entire term.
Arlene Richards, NTD News legal correspondent in New York. Thank you so much for joining us and for your insight.
All right, thank you so much.